What's up, my friend? Matt Little here, Provo dating coach, and today I'm excited to have a special guest with us, my sweet wife, Lindsay.
Hi, everyone.
So today we're going to be talking about the first kiss, and this is so important and so crucial because it's really a turning point for the relationship. So we're going to talk through that. When is the right time to do it, and how do you do it, and where should you do it? There's so many different elements, and it can be a relationship killer or it can be a game changer. And so it's really important that we understand how to do these things right. Also, if you guys want awesome tips, tricks, knowing how to increase your success in dating, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to my channel so you can get updates. And guys, my goal is I want to help you get your dream girl, just like I did with mine. So please subscribe so I can keep giving you awesome coaching and awesome dating advice. Okay, so I want to start out with our story and about our first kiss, how that happened, what went well, what maybe didn't go well, but come on, for reals, it was amazing. That's why we got married. That's not why we got married, guys. I'm just messing. So let me ask you, Lindsay, what was your experience leading up to the first kiss, and how long was it? How many dates did you go on with me before having our first kiss?
So I couldn't tell you how many dates we went on because I can't remember, but it was 6 weeks before Matt kissed me. And leading up to it, I'm always a slow mover at the beginning. I don't like anyone to touch me or act too invested in me because then it scares me away. And Matt did everything right. He took things really slow for me, and then it took him a little while to hold my hand, probably about a month, and then we cuddled, and then by the time he kissed me, I was just waiting for it. I just really wanted him to kiss me.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to point out a few things in there. So she said, I want to emphasize this, she was waiting for me to kiss her. She was yearning for me to kiss her, to make that move, and she was just hoping for it. So that's really good, guys, because you want to make the woman, you want to make her earn it. You want to make her earn you. Because if they don't invest and pay the price for something, they're not going to value it the same way. And so your kiss, it should be valuable. So I love that she pointed that out. One other thing is she said it took a long time and she liked being slow because when guys are too touchy early on, it scares her away. Little did you know though, I put my arm around her on our first date. Okay, but it was how I did it that made her not feel any pressure. Let me ask you this, Lindsay. If it was the first date, could I have kissed you?
No, not me. I know it works for some people, but I would not have been ready on the first date. I didn't know you well enough. I wasn't invested. If you would have kissed me, maybe I would have gone on one more date, but I think it would have scared me away. Yeah,
so a general rule of thumb, guys, is the first date is not the date to kiss. I want to tell you though that there's not a specific number date that's the right time to kiss her. But the key is, what is the key, Lindsay? What do you think?
I just think the key is making sure you're both invested and that you're both comfortable. Yep. And then if you have those two things, then I think it's the time to kiss the girl.
Yeah, that's exactly right. There's this relationship attachment model by Dr. John Van Epp, and basically it has 5 different components, and it explains how you develop and attach to someone and have that solid relationship. And so the first one is know, second is trust, rely, commit, and then touch. And you want to do those in the order, it's like little dials. You slide each one up a little bit, get to know them a little bit better, and then you start to trust them more. Those kind of are a little tied to each other, and then you rely on them, you ask them to do something, they follow through, you commit to them, like you show different things. You show your commitment by your actions, really, by spending time with them. and so on. And then the last dial is touch. And what happens, like, I had this coaching client, and he went on this first date with a girl, and at the end of the date, he was driving her home, and she's like, well, you don't have to drop me off yet. We could go park somewhere. And a guy thinking that or hearing that, that's exciting. That's like, whoa, she wants to kiss. Like, let's do this. That's really tempting. But my friend, I just got to tell you, say no and take her home. What does that communicate? It communicates, I have high standards, and I'm not just going to give it away that easily. And it will allow her to earn it more so that she values your kiss more. Because what happened with my coaching client is he went and parked somewhere, they started making out, and they had a great makeout session. And then this girl never really talked to him again, just was ignoring him, giving him the cold shoulder, which is really sad because he was feeling excited about this girl and she just used him. And guys, you don't want to be used. You want someone who truly values you, and you need to communicate that through your actions. So just to talk about that, and going back to the RAM, the relationship attachment model, is if you first just hit the touch way up, like you slide that way up, well, you don't know them, you don't trust them, and neither does she. Like, you guys both have those sliders in an analogy sort of way of thinking about it. And if that is just way up, like, she's not going to feel comfortable. She's not going to feel comfortable or confident. She's not going to trust you. That's just, you both feel insecure, unsure, scared, where one of you may be way more invested than the other one. It's just not a good situation. So guys, general rule of thumb is do not kiss on the first date. Now, there may be some exceptions, but let's not focus on exceptions. Let's focus on the general rule and stick to that. So let's talk, there's so many important aspects of the first kiss. When do you do it? How many dates do you wait for? And like we said, that's not a specific number. The other thing is, where do you do it? So with our first kiss, where was it? And how did you feel during that process? Did I make you feel comfortable, or what was it like for you, that first kiss?
So our first kiss was actually in my car. I was dropping Matt off at his apartment, and I had just parked on the road next to the curb, and we were just talking about our night, and then all out of nowhere, Matt just leaned in. It took me by surprise because I was not expecting it, and he went 90 and I went 10, and we had our first kiss, and it was short and simple, and then he went inside.
Yeah. So, okay, she referenced Hitch there, and if you haven't seen Hitch, you gotta watch it. It's an amazing movie. So I went in 90% of the way, so I made the move. I led, but I let her chase, and I let her do the final move. And that's really important. Because that's what women want. They want to work for it too. You don't want to be going in 100%. You want to go in 90 and let her go in 10. So another key thing is we're sitting down next to each other. It's great if you're sitting somewhere, or ideally you're standing. Like, it's easy to give a hug and then a kiss. Mm-hmm. But what kind of, we were in your car, was it private, was it public? How did you feel about that?
Yeah, so we were in my car, and it was just the two of us. There wasn't anyone around. It was the evening, so we were secluded. And anytime Matt would drop me off from a date, I felt uncomfortable with a doorstep kiss. So I would give him a quick hug, and then I'd get inside.
She'd book it.
Yeah, I'd book it in. Which gave Matt mixed signals, because he was like, oh, does she not want me to kiss her? But with my apartment complex, it was like a U shape. So you could see everything going on and all your neighbors and the doorstep scenes. And so I just didn't want anyone to see. It made me feel uncomfortable. So that's why I would do that. So I liked that when he did finally kiss me, it was like in a private location where no one was gonna see us.
Yeah, and guys, I want to say don't go to a completely private location because that's when you can get into trouble. But go somewhere somewhat private, you know, like we were still out in a public space. Someone could have seen us, but there weren't a bunch of people around. It was somewhere where she was comfortable. And that is key. Like, she has got to be comfortable. If she's not comfortable, don't do it. And that's exactly what I did. Like, when I'd take her home at the end of the date, I'd give her a hug and I would watch her body language. Is she lingering? Like,
lingering there.
Is she lingering? Is she smiling? Is she looking up at me? Is she being slow about that? Is she getting closer to me with her body? I watched those things and I never saw them when I was taking her home and I gave her a goodnight hug. Like, I never saw those in those first few dates. So guess what? I never made the move during that time because I could sense and feel that she was uncomfortable. And if you want to have a good first kiss, she's got to be comfortable. Because let's talk about bad first kisses and the results. Like, have you ever been kissed by a guy that you didn't want him to kiss you?
Yeah. And I just felt obligated at that point. I know I could have rejected him, but I still kissed him and then...
Did you ever see him again?
Yeah, I did, but only because we were in the same social circle.
So. But you never went out with him again?
No, I didn't go on another date with him again.
Yeah. So that is a perfect example of relationship killer. If you make a girl uncomfortable with that first kiss, boom, it's done. You're through. And so you don't want to focus and obsess so much about, oh, I need to get to that point where I have a first kiss. Like, oh, on the third date, I have to kiss her. That's not what the focus should be. It's let's build that flirty tension and get her wanting it and get her feeling comfortable so that, okay, now I go in for the first kiss. And that way, you're successful in that first kiss and you actually make her want you more. So let me ask you this, Lindsay. You were telling me something earlier that what you do before and after the kiss is almost more important than the actual kiss. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, so everything leading up to the kiss is super important, like making sure you're doing things in the right order type, you could say, like make sure you're getting to know each other, building that connection, holding hands, cuddling, like see if you like even want to kiss them, like when he touches you, like do you get excited and everything like that. So that's super important. And then you have your kiss, and then after the kiss is also important. Like, you don't want to kiss someone then all of a sudden they just like quit talking to you. Like, that makes you feel super insecure. Like, if the guy is texting you every single day and then you guys have your kiss and then the next day you just like don't hear anything from them, it just makes you feel like, oh, does he like me? And you just start questioning and wondering and you feel super insecure and you're like, what did I do wrong? Yeah. After our first kiss, I was actually the one that texted Matt first, and because I already knew that Matt didn't text very often, and I knew he would only send me one reply because that's what he normally did. And so he did that one reply and then everything was okay because he was consistent in his texting leading up and then after the kiss.
Yeah, so you do want to give her some level of surety and reassurance, but at the same time, guys, my wife is going to hate me for saying this. Feel like her wondering if, oh, like what's wrong? That kind of emotion is actually going to make her super excited when you finally do reach out again. And so you want to be a little unpredictable because that's attractive and it's going to make her invest in you a little bit. But like I said, you don't want to be manipulative. You don't want to use them. And you don't want to come off like you're just using them or you're just playing games, because if that happens, you're going to turn them away. So it's kind of this balance. Like, for the most part, when you kiss and like you can tell that they have some level of commitment, then respect that, you know, and give them a little bit of surety. So like after that kiss, she texted me, like she said, I sent one text back giving her some kind of compliment. And then I didn't reach out to her for a couple of days. So that's what happened.
And that was okay because I already felt secure in our relationship because of everything leading up to that kiss.
Yep, so let's talk about leading up. So one way that is really effective with touch, especially in the early stage of dating before that first kiss, is you touch and then you pull back. You touch and you pull back. And you're not just like talking or listening to her and you're like, would that be, that's weird, right? So you want to do it when you're like, you have a reason to touch. Let's say we're talking and I say, and then this guy came out of nowhere and it was crazy. He was like yelling and screaming, and then I back away. And he was yelling and screaming. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
See, that looks really natural. Same with like the hand grab. Like, let's say you're walking somewhere and you just want to take her somewhere off to the right or to the left. Just grab her hand or her wrist and like pull it. Or you can like, when you're talking, same kind of situation like this, you can actually grab her shoulder, gently of course, and then afterwards you slide down her arm like that. How do you like that?
I like it a lot.
What's like your favorite? Do you like this one better or you like slide down the arm?
Yeah, I like it when you're talking to me and then you slide down a little bit.
Yeah, and when she just did that to me, guys, I liked it too. So, okay, so you should be doing those things, and also holding hands should typically precede. Like, it doesn't have to happen before the kiss, right?
Yeah.
But it's a good idea. So how do you know, how does a guy know, like, if you want to hold hands with him? Because it's the same principle. You don't want to hold hands too early, because then that makes her feel pressure, pushes her away.
Yeah.
But yeah, how do you know?
Well, she will make her hands super available. So like if you're sitting next to each other on the couch, she'll make sure that her hand is out. Or if you guys are walking, she's not going to have her arms folded or her hands clasped. She's going to make sure her hands are loose and available to grab.
Yeah, so if I grab her hand, I'm like, hey, come over here, and then I let go, and she likes that, what is she going to start doing?
Making her hands available.
Yeah, like, and I would say as well, from my experience, she's going to like get closer to you, and she's going to have her hand closer to you. And so it's just going to be natural and easy to do that. And that's what we want. We want holding hands and kissing, like we want that to be natural and comfortable for both parties involved. Okay, guys, this is my favorite part of the video.
Mine too.
So I'm actually going to demonstrate how to actually do the first kiss, because so you want to be in the right place, somewhere somewhat private, like we said. You want to make sure that she's comfortable and that you know, you trust, you rely, and there's some level of commitment before you move the dial on touch up that far. I mean, you can do little things before, like touching them on their shoulder, but you got to build that connection, that relationship, and you got to flirt with them so that they really want it, they're really interested, they're going on dates with you. So typically you shouldn't do the first kiss until she's gone on multiple dates with you. So we talked about where to do it. You want somewhat of a private place where she can be comfortable and you can be comfortable. You also need to build flirty tension and attract her and get her interested before, so that she actually wants it and she's earning it, she's working for it. You know, just like my wife said, she had to wait like 6 weeks, and I did too. Like, I wanted to kiss her earlier than I did, but I waited because I needed to create that right environment. So the last step is really talking about how do you do that first kiss? And this is why it's my favorite part. Let's say you're at the doorstep or you're sitting on the couch and you're looking at each other and it's near the end of the date. You want it to be near the end because that's a good time where she can leave and she can be super excited about it and she can go tell her roommates and whatever, and you can leave. Like, if it's a bad kiss, then you guys can leave and you're not stuck with each other, and it gives her space to think about you more and to want you more. So when you're close to the end of the day, a great move to do is simple like this. And watch closely. So I grab her hair and say, "Wow, your hair is so nice and smooth."
Thanks.
And don't mess up her hair, guys.
That is important.
Don't mess up her hair. Like maybe you just like touch her shoulder or something, like, "Oh, you had something there." Like you just have to have some excuse to touch her. And then what you do is you watch. And so if I do it again, "I like your hair, it's smooth."
Thanks.
So watch what she did. She just smiled. She's looking into my eyes. And if you notice, it was really subtle, but she moved a little closer to me. So she's lingering. And that means, okay, she is comfortable. So at that point, what I would do is I'll use my hand here. I'm gonna pull your hair back here so all the viewers can see. So I'm gonna lightly put my hand slide across her neck, and then my fingers, I'm gonna curve them around like so I have her neck. So there's just a tiny bit of tension there. And I'm gonna move in, and I'm gonna kiss her. And that's what you need to do. You don't have to do this hand movement, but how did you feel when I did that? Did you like that?
I really like it because then it's just a little further touch.
Guys, I like that too. So, but it would be totally acceptable. Actually, our first kiss, it was just like this. I was like,
and then I finished it.
Yeah, so I knew she wanted a kiss because we had gone on so many dates, and I could tell that she totally liked me. And I knew that we had a private moment that I could do that. And so she kept talking, and she was talking. She was not stopping. And I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous. I want to kiss you, and you won't stop talking. And I know you want to kiss me too. So I finally just went, and I waited. And I waited and waited. I didn't wait that long because
it was a second. So
as soon as like she's like, "Oh," she was like, and kissed, and it was great. And then she pulled me in for another kiss. It was that good.
You're not supposed to tell them that.
All right, guys. So I hope that helps you. It helps you know when to do the first kiss, how to do the first kiss, where to do that first kiss, and really how to build up to that first kiss and read those signals so that you can do an amazing job. And I want you to do this on your dream girl. So if you guys like this video, make sure to hit subscribe, like this video. Down below in the description, there's a link where you can request my free texting guide that will help you text the woman of your dreams in such a flirty way that she's gonna want to meet up with you, and it's gonna drive her crazy. Make sure you get that and follow me on Instagram. Have a great day.